If you find anything like provisions, it is always liability. If your current asset decreased, then we should add. So 90% of your question for 6 marks from cash flow statement. In the cash flow, we have two kinds of cash flow, direct method and indirect method. We have three types of activity: operating, financing as well as investing activity. What is statement? Statement means it is a document. Hello everyone, I am Adarsh, lecturer in Vidyashram PU College, the Temple of Excellence. My topic is called cash flow statement. In your accountancy, we have topic called cash flow statement. This particular topic will come for 6 marks. In the previous two sessions, we discussed about what is cash flow. Cash flow statement. What is cash? Cash or cash equivalent. What is flow? Inflow and outflow of cash. What is statement? Statement means it is a document. Now, in the previous session, we did one problem on operating activity. We have three types of activity: operating, financing as well as investing activity. In the previous session, we did one problem on operating. In the today's session, we will discuss two problems on operating activity. So, this is your problem number 2 on operating activity. The following is the statement of P&L of Yamuna Limited, statement of profit and loss of Yamuna for the year ended March 31st, 2018. So, these are the P&L given and these are the adjustment they have given in the question. Now, for preparing operating activity, we don't want all the details. We need only how much increased, how much decreased. Now, they have given profit and loss account. We don't want P&L account. We want only what? We want only profit before taxation. How much they have given? Profit before taxation they have given 1,50,000. What is your format? In the previous session we discussed. Again I'll revise that format once. Simple. You have to take your profit and loss. Whatever profit you have, we have to mention. Add. Decrease in current asset, increase in current liability. Remember this concept. First, what we should take? P&L account. Add. Which are the things we should add? Decrease in current asset. If your current asset decreased, then we should add. Increase in current liability. If your current liability increased, we should add. Now, vice versa, reverse. If increase in current asset or decrease in current liability, this much you have to remember. Along with this, always remember depreciation always add. Depreciation always add. There is a concept to do any problem. In operating, to find out operating activity, the logic is you have to take your P&L value 1,50,000. You have to take 1,50,000. Then few things you should add and few things we should minus. Before doing that, we have to identify whether it is a current asset or whether it is a current liability. We'll go one by one. Now, as I told you, anything which is receivable always what? Anything which is receivable is always current asset. So, this is current asset. Prepaid expenses. The future expenses you have paid now itself. That is nothing but current asset. Trade payable. So anything which is payable, what? Current liability. Outstanding expenses you have not yet paid. If you paid early, that is current asset. If you are not yet paid, then current liability. Outstanding expenses, current liability. Other expenses including depreciation. Depreciation always what? Add. Remember, depreciation always add. Compute net cash from operation. Simple question. First, you have to take your P&L. Then you have to identify whether it is a current asset or current liability. Then we'll come back to your concept. Current asset decreased, add. Current liability increased, add. So these concept we have to work out. We'll go to answer. In the answer, I'll explain you. Now, solution. As I told you, while writing your solution, always remember the heading is must. You have to write the heading. Cash flow statement for the year ending 31st March 2018. Whatever year mentioned in the question, same year you have to write. Yamuna Limited. The name of the company is what? Yamuna Limited. Now, whatever given in the question, everything we have taken. Now, cash flow from operating activity. We are finding now. In this, as per indirect method. In the cash flow, we have two kinds of cash flow, direct method and indirect method. Now, profit before tax. As I told you, in your profit and loss account, you got profit. How much profit you got? 1,50,000. I go back to your question. What is your profit? 1,50,000. Don't take any information from this. We don't want P&L. We want only your final profit. So only we should consider the final profit, whatever given, we should consider. After taking profit and loss account, as I told you, you have to take one by one adjustment. First, decrease in current assets. So before that, I'll write down the logic. Which are the things we should add? Decrease in current asset, increase in current liability. Remember this. Along with this, depreciation. These are the things you should add. Please write down this. Which are the things you should add? Decrease in current asset, increase in current liability, plus your depreciation. Now, which are the things you should minus? Reverse. Increase in current asset, decrease in current liability. These are the things you should minus. Now, decrease in trade receivable. Trade receivable is what? Current asset. Current asset, what happened? Decreased. Go back to your logic. Your current asset decreased. Decrease means what? You should add. So they have added 30,000. Next, increase in prepaid expense. Prepaid expense what? Current asset. Current asset, what happened? Increased. Increased means what? Current asset increased means what? Minus. So it is minus. Next, increase in trade payable. Payable means what? Current liability. Current liability, what happened? In this, increased. Come back to your logic. Current liability increased means what? Add. So we should add. Increase in outstanding expenses. Outstanding expenses means current liability. Now, current liability, what happened? Increased. Go back to your logic. Current liability increased. What we have to do? Add. So, we have to add. The last part is depreciation. Depreciation always what? Add. Simple. Two things you have to remember. Whatever given in the question, first you have to bifurcate whether it is a current asset or current liability. Once if it is done, then you have to apply this logic, whether it is increased or decreased. In case of current asset, decreased add, increased minus. In case of current liability, increase add, decrease minus. Depreciation always common, you should add. After doing this, 1,50,000 plus 30 minus 5 plus 15,000 plus 3,000 plus 25,000. If you do all calculation, your final answer is how much? 2,18,000. Remember, final answer always should be written with sentence. Net cash from operation is 2,18,000. Hope you understood. Again, go back to your question. Again, read out everything. Without seeing answer, first bifurcate whether it is a current asset or current liability. After bifurcating, see whether it is increased or decreased. Write down these two logics so that easy to calculate. For 2-3 problems, you need this logic. Later, without seeing this logic, you can solve. We'll go for the next problem. Again, they have given compute cash from operation from the following information. This problem will be homework for you. I'll explain you. I'll classify which are the current asset, which are the current liability also, but without seeing answer, you should work out. Now, profit for the year 2016 and 17. What is the profit given? 10,000. We should consider profit in the beginning itself. We should mention profit is 10,000. Next, depreciation of rupees 2,000. Depreciation always what? Add, plus. You should add depreciation always. Now, the current asset of the business, these are the information they have given. They have given 2 years. They have given 2 years. So, we have to compare. This will be your heading of your question. So, this will be your question. They have given for 2 years. 2016 and 2017. Every problem they used to give how much increased, how much decreased. In this we should only find out. Easy. Now, before go to numbers, what we should do? We should classify whether it is a current asset or current liability. Now, trade receivable, anything which is receivable, what? Anything which is receivable, what? It is always current asset. Good. Before I write the answer, you should tell me whether it is a current asset or current liability. Now, provision for doubtful debts. Remember, if you find anything like provisions, it is always liability. If you find anything like provisions, it is always current liability. Provisions for doubtful debts, what it is? Current liability. Trade payable, as I told you, anything which is payable, what? Current liability. Again, it is current liability. Inventories, inventories means what? Stock. Stock always asset. So, current asset. Other current asset, directly they have given current asset. Expenses payable, easy to find out. Anything which is payable always what? Current liability. Prepaid expenses, any expenses paid early, Any expenses paid before, always current asset, because future you need not to pay because it is already paid. Any expenses prepaid, always current asset. Current asset. Accrued income. Accrued means what? Receivable. Accrued means not yet received. Accrued income is current asset. Income received in advance. Future income you received now only. Future you will not receive. That is current liability. Your first stage, our first step is over. What is your first stage? You have to bifurcate which are current asset, which are current liability. After that, what you should do? Apply logic. For plus, what is the logic? For minus, what is the logic? What is the logic for plus and minus? First, we will go with plus. Decrease in current asset, increase in current liability. This is the logic for plus. What is the logic for minus? Increase in current asset, decrease in current liability. These are the logic to do calculation or your answer. Now, in this, how much increased, how much decreased, not given. We should only find out. Last year it was 14,000, now it is 15,000. Increased or decreased? It is increased. How much? 15,000 minus 14,000, it is 1,000. 1,000 what? 1,000 increased. Next. Last year it was 1,000, now it is 1,200. 200 increased. 200 increased. We need only differences. Next. 13,000 and 15. Yeah. It is 2,000 increased. 5,000 and 8,000. Again 3,000 increased. It was 10,000. Now it is 12,000. Again increase of 2,000. Increase of 2,000. It was 1,000. Now it is 1,500. Again increase of 500. Increase of 500. It was 2,000. Now it is 1,000. Increase or decrease? Yes, it is a decrease of 1,000. Simple to calculate. Next. It was 3,000. Now it is 4,000. Increase. Yes. 4 is higher than 3. So 1,000 increased. It was 2,000. Now it is 1,000. Decrease. It was 2. Now it is 1 means what? Decreased. Again decrease of 1,000. Clear? Yes. What is the procedure? You have to find out whether it is a current asset or current liability. After that, 90% of the problem, they will give you this final answer. If it is not given, we should only find out. Simple, easy to find out. Just you have to see whether it is increase or decrease. Once if it is done, then apply your logic. Now, first come to this current asset. What happened? Increased. What is the logic? No, the logic is this one. Current asset increased means you should minus. This is only your answer. Next. What is this? Current liability. What happened? Increased. Current liability increased. Increase means what? We should add. Simple. Next. What is this? Current liability. What happened? It is increased. Current liability increased means what you should do? Add. So we should add. What is this current asset? Current asset, what happened? Increased. We don't have in this logic. We have to come to this one. Current asset increase means what we should do? Minus. So we should minus. Other current asset. So it is what? Current asset. Come back to your answer. Current asset, what happened? Increased. Increased means what? Current asset increased, you should minus. So it should be minus. Current liability. What is the final answer? Increased. Current liability increased means what you should do? Add. So we should add. Easy or very easy? Yes, very easy. Simple. Bifurcate. Difference. Apply the logic. Add or minus. Next, current asset. Current asset, what happened? Decreased. Decreased means we should add. Current asset, add. Next, current asset increased. Current asset increased, always minus. Current liability, what happened? Decreased. Current liability decreased means always minus. This is all about your calculation. Hope you understood. Like this, you have to follow step by step. First 2 or 3 problems, it may take time, but once if you are understood means you can do it easily. Clear? Now we'll go to answer, but your homework is, please take screenshot of this. Why? Because 90% of all adjustment in your operating activity included in this problem. All kind of current asset and current liabilities are included. For your examination point of view, it is one of the important question for your final exam. I'll go out of the screen. Please take screenshot of this, write down. After this, you have to write down the question. You only find out all this. Whatever I have written now, that you only should find out. Later, you can cross verify with this answer. If any corrections needed, later you can do it in your book. Please take a screenshot of this. Yeah. So this is all about your today's session. As I told you, this is your homework. You have to work out. The format I have given you, in the same format, work out this problem. Once if you are done with your workout, whatever your final answer, please verify with this. Your final answer should be 7,700. Whatever we discussed in the previous slide, all the discussions are here. All the calculation, 15,000 minus 14, your calculation is 1,000. Everything is given. You may ask, sir, how come you got this 2,000? Depreciation. I'll go back to your question. See, your profit is how much? 10. What is your depreciation? 2. These two we considered. Your profit is how much? 10,000. Your depreciation always what? Add. So we have taken 2. Rest of the things you will get from this. From this working note, you can consider all the calculation. Again, take screenshot of this answer, but without seeing this, you should solve this problem. I'll go out of the screen. Please take screenshot of this. So this is all about your today's session. We discussed 2 major important problems on operating activity. So 90% of your question for 6 marks from cash flow statement, it must be from your operating activity. One of the important topic in your cash flow. In the coming session, next session, we will discuss about investing activity. compared to operating, investing activity is very easy. We will do 2 or 3 problems in your next session. Thank you.